Hello everybody, it's Ivo Balvern again. Today I'm going to do an unboxing of Ducks vs. Demons, a tic-tac-KO game. And this specific one is actually the original May 2025 version. I point that out because apparently there was an issue with one of the card names. And that card name apparently has alternate meanings or somewhat offensive meanings in other languages or cultures. So they recalled these. And apparently, Unstable Games is no longer selling that version. They're going to reprint and redo. So we will see a name in here that, apparently is going to bother somebody. I don't know what that is, so I apologize up front. I am absolutely curious to see the reprinted version and know what the difference is going to be. But let's kind of go through these real quick. This is not compatible with the original Tic-Tac-Toe games. This is its own thing with a similar theme. Okay, so demons for backs. And obviously the ducks will have ducks for backs. And we'll go through each of the cards. I don't know if you have played Tic-Tac-KO or not. But let us start with the ducks themselves. Honk, several of those. Squeak. I can only guess it'll be one of the demon names, but I would laugh if it was not. Peep. You know what, let's just do that. Crumb. The chicks. Anxious Alan. And apparently we're getting the ones that actually have some kind of effect. Draw one for Anxious Alan. And again, I'm just going to leave the card titles up here. Grenader Gary. His ability or effect is to destroy. Pyro Penny. Special duck, huh? It summons. And Bomber Betsy for repel. Oh, only two of those. I used to be in three of everything. So let's do this instead. So these are the basic ducks. Special ducks. Get my head out of there, sorry. And then our two card special ducks. We got, I guess, our magic cards. Nest Egg, draw three. Choose and Violence, destroy or plus. Draw one. Slice and Dice, repel or draw one. Repel and draw one. A couple of those. The Quackening, displace and draw one. Duck Muck, draw two. We'll look at these guys here in a second. But let's spread these out. Duck Duck. Almost wish they'd have gone with Duck Duck Goose. On the next card, Goose / Duck Egg. Play this card when another player tries to play a card. Stop that player's card from being played and send it to the discard pile. And there's four of those. So compare that with our demons. Hell handling our basic demons. 3 Batty Boy. Skelly Lad. Junior Fiend. Coalfoal. we'll skip to those here in a second when I spread these out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 5 basics, 3 each again. Scrap a Pain for a special demon. Draw 1. Nightmare, destroy. Unbound Fury for summon. Undead Master, hypnotize, and that's going to be one of our 2 first instead of 3s. And Beast of Below, swap. Our magic cards. Spirit of Darkness, draw 3. Incendiary Memo, sorry. I had Nemo stuck in my head as in Finding Nemo or Captain Nemo. So Incendiary Memo, destroy, draw 1. Mesmerizing Medallion, hypnotize and draw 1. Infernal Exchange, swap, draw 1. We have Book of the Undead, draw 2. And again, 2 of those. So 5 at 3, 3 at 3, 2 at 2, 2 single magic, 3 double magic, and then we have 4 of our instant card. Demonic Seal. Play this card when any other player tries to draw a card. Stop a player's card being placed and send it to the discard pile. Exactly the same instant as the ducks. So yeah, it makes me curious. I'm assuming it's going to be one of these, but I don't know. And we'll take a quick peek at the rules here. And again, I imagine it's going to be fairly similar to the regular Tic-Tac-KO, but obviously some differences. In this case, the board setup. And just to make that stand out a little more, there we go. Rulers of the Pond face off against Lords of the Underworld in a quirky, fast-paced spin on tic-tac-toe. In this easy-to-learn strategy game, you'll learn to play as either Team Duck or Team Demon, aiming to connect 3 characters in a row or on an ever-changing grid while sabotaging your opponents. Again, very much like tic-tac-KO, except for, I think, the ever-changing grid setup. Your magic cards will bring the heat, and your instant cards might ruffle a few feathers. But above all else, make sure you get your ducks in a row. Unless, of course, you're playing as Team Demon, in which case, never mind, you get the point. So, how to start. Divide players into 2 equal teams. Note if you had 2 or 3 players, you'll find modifications at the end of the rules. Each team selects a deck, obviously ducks and demons. Team with the youngest player chooses their deck first. The other team is stuck with the other deck because there are only 2 options. And they do like to inject a little humor into their stuff, don't they? Sit next to your teammate. Have the other team sit across from you. Well, it's pretty standard there. Shuffle your team's decks and place it face down in front of you. The team who chose the deck second starts the game, and the other player on that team who most recently took out the trash goes first. Opponent sitting across from that player goes second. Continue alternating teams until the remaining players have gone. Then repeat, yada yada. So, but how to play? There are 3 phases. Phase 1, draw a card. Draw a card at the top of your team's deck and add it to your hand. Second phase is the action phase. And again, fairly standard here. Play a character card or a magic card from your hand. If you cannot do either or do not want to play a card, you may draw a second card instead. The scoring phase. If your team has 3 cards in a row on the field, vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, you may remove those cards. Place them in front of your team as a stack. Each stack in front of your team counts as 1 point. Note that at the start of your action phase, before you play a card or draw a second card, if at least 1 character card on the field is face down, you may discard 2 cards from your hand to flip 1 character card face up. You may only flip 1 card face up on each of your turns. The field. The field is a flexible 9-card grid that is at most 3 cards wide by 3 cards tall. Throughout the game, you will play character cards onto the field to form 3 in a row and score points. The field may never have more than 3 rows or 3 columns. This means, for example, if 2 cards are side by side on the field in a row, you may play a third card onto an open location on either side of the row. However, if 3 cards are in a row, you may not play a card outside the bounds of that row. In other words, until there are 3 rows and 3 columns defined as cards in the field, you may treat the space as open location as long as it fits with a 3x3 grid. So notice you get to choose what side it is. And you kind of see some examples of open spaces here, or rather block spaces. So here, you can play that card here or here, that one here or here. These spots you wouldn't be able to go to because you already have 1, 2, and at most 3. Hence the ever-changing board they refer to. Because as you pick them up, where you can place them will change. Winning the game. If your team has 3 points at the end of your turn, your team wins the game. But beware, if your deck runs out of cards, your team loses the game immediately. Types of cards, pretty obvious. We went through those. Basic decks, or basic, special, magic, and instant. Character cards are used to claim locations on the field. There's to be these 3 here. Your basic and special. Some are basic, meaning they do not have effects, while others are special, meaning they do have effects. Magic cards, one-time use effects. After playing the magic card, immediately move it to your team's discard pile. Instant cards disrupt another player's actions. You can play them immediately when the conditions listed on the card are met, even on other players' turns. You may play any number of instant cards in a single turn. And again, that's pretty common, particularly with their games. Gridlock. If there are no open locations on the field at the end of your turn, and you did not play a card during the action phase, the game is gridlocked. Each team must immediately move all face-up basic cards on the field to their discard pile, then flip each remaining character card face up. Essentially, no draws. And then 2-player rules, which is, I don't even need to read that as team rules. It's 2 players, you just go back and forth. Make the following modifications to gameplay. At the beginning of the game, each player draws 6 cards instead of 5. Well, I guess that makes a little sense. Instead of 2 players on each side having 5, you get a little extra. During your action phase, do one of the following. Play 1 card, play up to 2 cards. Play 1 character card, play up to 2 magic cards, or draw a card. So there is some modification then. 3-player rules. If you're playing with 3 players, make the following modifications. 1 team will have 2 players, while the other will have 1. Makes sense. The solo player will take a turn in between each of the other 2 players' turns. At the beginning of the game, the solo player should draw 7 cards instead of 5. The other 2 should still only draw 5. And again, that makes sense because they're at a slight disadvantage having 10 cards against them. And then obviously the specific symbols which we've seen on the cards, just to show you what those actually mean. So I am curious, have you already played this? If so, what do you think? And at the time you're watching this video, have you gotten the reprinted version? And if so, do you know then, or will you tell us then, which one of these character cards have been replaced? I know I'm curious to know. And with that, I wish you all thanks for watching my video, and as always, happy gaming.